Penn State's had reason to cheer through 2 quarters. They're trying to pull the shocker. They lead by 6 as we're just about set to start the 3rd quarter. Welcome back to Happy Valley, everybody. Brad Nessler and Bob Greasy along with Lynn Swan. And Grease, you know, you look at this first half, I thought it was very well played. Very few penalties. Both quarterbacks is what we talked about to start the show, and they both played well.
And just what you would expect from 2 schools with all the tradition. Penn State's playing the way they used to play.
Exactly.
And it's nice to see that. And Frank Solich is playing, his team is playing, maybe not as well as they have played in the past, but it's another half.
As Frank told Swanee, it's only a touchdown extra point, and we're in the lead. Let's take a look at Bob's insights.
Well, we said Jamal Lord coming into the ball game. It's his first start on the road, and he's gotten some rushing yards. He's strong arm, 55 yards passing. For the other guy, Zach Mills has been the guy. He's an accurate passer. He's been the reason why they've scored all these points. He's running some options. He's carried the ball 9 times. It's really been very impressive to see Zach Mills running this ball club.
Hasn't been rattled once, I don't think, even though he's been tagged a few times by Kelsey and those guys.
Exactly.
And Penn State gets the football first, too. Remember, they deferred to the second half on the opening coin toss. So the Johnson brothers, Tony and Larry, are back deep. The kick goes through Larry's hands and out of the back of the end zone. So Penn State will work from the 20-yard line. Let's check in with Swanee.
Well, thank you, Brad. I just got to tell you, Joe Paterno came on the field, and you know he's a man of few words. He just said, hey, we got to go out and play a tough second half. This Nebraska football team is a very tough, hard-hitting team. Even the officials said this is one of the hardest-hitting games they've seen so far this year. Keep in mind, it's a kind of ball game that will test your complete program, from the strategies from the head coaches and the coordinators to the toughness on the field, and the conditioning in the second half counts most.
That's a good point. Even though it has cooled off a little bit, you probably saw Bob and I in shirt sleeves. It's a beautiful night now, but it was pretty warm early in the ball game. Zach Mills back to throw on first down as he was in the first half. I think we're going to have a holding call. Just when I said there haven't been many penalties. Zach on the roll, hits Tony Johnson. Let's see if they're going to bring it back.
That flag was thrown from the line judge about 30 yards at the offensive backfield where the linemen were protecting.
So it is holding on Penn State. Our Pacific Life game summary, as you take a look at the first half statistically, as Bob said earlier, I don't know if they keep stats on most yards gained by throwing in a first half for Penn State, but 205's got to be in the ballpark.
Yeah, and converting 5 of 9 third down situations for Penn State is big also.
Nebraska 157 yards on the ground. They got a couple big chunks from Jamal Lord, including one that really didn't mean anything on the last play of the half. Otherwise, that was a little inflated, I thought, but you can bet they'll try to get their ground wheels turning in the second half if they get the football back.
No turnovers in the ball game and only 1 sack, and that by Chris Kelsey.
This is where Penn State wants to be careful. Speaking of turnovers, they're backed up to their own 10-yard line on the penalty for holding, and it'll be Zach Mills from the shotgun. Larry Johnson flanks him back there. And it's Zach faking the handoff to Johnson, taking it himself. Almost got the penalty yardage back, picked up about 8. And Barrett rudely interrupted his run.
Little draw, similar to what Northwestern has been running in the last few years.
Rude, the guy that made the tackles, coming out. He's got a big cast on his hand, broke a bone in his hand by his ring finger, and it's really hampered him in pass coverage.
And trying to intercept balls.
Second down long. Bryant Johnson's got another one. Out to the 39-yard line. First down, Penn State. That's been the lethal combination tonight. Mills to Bryant Johnson, and one of the captains.
Ball is right on the money, and he's covered by Juwan Gross. Gross, I think he's got a lower leg problem. He heard it a little bit earlier. Watch Gross not even trying to cover him. Runs a little slant to the inside. The ball is right on the money. I don't think Gross is feeling up to par.
Yep. He was limping around in that first half after trying to block that extra point. He came up a little gimpy after that and has looked that way ever since. Here's the toss sweep to Johnson, Larry Johnson. And Larry's popped out of bounds as he crosses a 43-yard line. Larry Johnson and Tony Johnson, the sons of Larry Johnson, the defensive line coach at Penn State. And if that wasn't enough, Tony, that's Larry. He's the oldest one. He's the quiet one. Tony's kind of the one that likes to talk a little bit. And he's got a twin sister, Teresa. She's the third baseman on the Nittany Lions softball team. You think Larry and Christine haven't done a good job?
There's Dad.
Yeah, they're putting a lot of people in blue and white.
Yeah.
And give Christine some credit. Mom should get a lot of the credit. We always talk about the dads. Mills fakes the end around. Shot puts one out there. Caught. And it's going to be close to a first down. And it's the tight end, Casey Williams again.
Yeah, he's not pretty about it. Like you say, shot puts. He reminds me a little bit of Kenny Stabler. He's not pretty. He moves around. He does what he has to do. He throws it sidearm. He'll throw it end over end. Just make the fake and then get it to the guy where we want the ball to go.
Casey Williams, his tight end's not the easiest guy to find. He is not the normal tight end build for Penn State. 5'11" if he's lucky, about 240. But he's got 3 catches tonight, and he's got a first down right at midfield. Mills, draw play, Larry Johnson.
Huge hole.
Wow, and he ran right over one of his blockers out there in front of him.
Got to give that offensive line a little credit to Iorio and Lenda, Smith, and Felder, and Schmidt.
They're doing a job.
That was a huge hole up there. The first drive of the second half, especially for Penn State in this ball game, after they've had 2 losing seasons, they want to come back and establish to get some confidence going. Then they'll come out and say, all right, Nebraska, that first half was not a fluke. We're coming right at you.
We're going to try to do it again to open the third quarter. And it's Zach Mills on the carry on a second down and short, and he got not much at all. John Clanton, number 55, the defensive lineman, made the stop. There's Big John, 285-pound senior out of Glendale, Arizona. Third down and a long 2. Mills looks to the sideline. John McHugh will run the play in from the bench.
Defensively, Nebraska in their first 3 games this year only allowed 307 yards of total offense per game. Penn State already has 328.
Third down, long 2. Mills has a look from the shotgun. Zach on the option, late pitch to McHugh, tucks it away, bangs his way inside the 40. I don't know. Might have it. He took a couple guys with him, including Shanley and Fabian Washington.
I think one eye was on Washington and one eye was on that marker right here that he said, all right, I got to get to that to make a first down.
They might have to bring the sticks all the way from the other side. This is a 265-pound fullback. I'd like to be the corner out here.
No way.
No.
He's 6'5", too.
Took Shanley, the linebacker, first. And then he got help from LeKevin Smith. They ride him out, and his foot looks like it's over the marker there to me, but
that's where the ball is.
And not only that, but you don't know if they have quite set up perfectly straight
Exactly.
because the sticks are on the far side. We may not be able to see this because it's right in front of Nebraska. And the referee will let you know, and so will the crowd. First down, Penn State.
Well, that's a big first down.
You bet it is.
Keeps the drive going, and it doesn't. Joe doesn't have to make a tough decision whether or not to go up for it on 4th down.
So Zach Mills trots back out, and he brings Michael Robinson with him. There's a couple quarterbacks. Now we've seen 2 fakes on end arounds. We've seen him do an end around. Is there any point where we're going to see number 12 on an end around and maybe come up throwing? This time he flanks him in the shotgun, and Kelsey's way offsides. And Nebraska's point at Penn State. Kelsey was in the backfield. Nittany Lions say it's against the Huskers, and it is. So it's going to be 1st and 5. First Nebraska flag other than that personal foul on the point after. So that's the discipline of Frank Solich's teams and Tom Osborne and Bob Devaney before him. But this one gives a free 5 yards to a Nittany Lion team that leads by 6. Robinson stays in there.
There he is.
See if it's the same play. Option keeper by Mills. he's got the first down. Barrett Ruud made the stop.
Kelsey was out there just fighting it off. He was halfway between the quarterback and the pitch man, and he was playing both of them, and Mills did a nice job of not risking it.
He got back to the line of scrimmage, I beg your pardon, not the first down marker. So it's 2nd and 5. Kelsey, his brother was a great player, and so is he. His older brother Chad, former captain of this team, and now Chris is. 2nd and 5. Mills down the middle, incomplete. Intended for Mike Lukac, his tight end, and T.J. Hollowell was back there in coverage. It'll bring up 3rd down and 5.
All right, the first drive of the second half, the defense makes adjustments. Offense makes a few adjustments. Penn State's had a nice drive, moving the ball down.
If nothing else, it's 4 minutes and 18 seconds that Nebraska hasn't touched it.
Exactly. Established a little bit more momentum.
Tony Johnson and Terrell to the wide side. Brian Johnson on the left. It's Terrell in motion. Mills on 3rd and 5. Getting some pressure down the middle. Brian Johnson's got a first down. And he's down to the 22-yard line. Catch number 7. Well over 100 yards for Brian Johnson. Last year he had 5 100-yard receiving games or more. They haven't done that at Penn State since Joe Juravicius.
Well, he's just going to run. He's like the outlet receiver. He's running a shallow crossing route. If the receivers downfield aren't open, he just dumps it to Brian Johnson. What a nice guy to dump it to and say, hey, Brian, we don't have the first down yet. Just go get it.
He went and got it again. Here's the pitch to Larry Johnson. Kelsey, great play, but Johnson broke the tackle, and then he got help from Philip Bland from the secondary. But it was Chris Kelsey that forced that, and you see Bland give him a rap on the helmet as if to say, Captain, good job.
Yeah, he knew.
And now Larry Johnson's a little gimpy.
Yeah.
And Penn State does not have a lot at backup tailback. In fact, we might see more of Sean McHugh in a single back set if Larry Johnson is injured at all to any degree.
Yeah, that does not look good if I know how to read this right. It looks like he's got a grimacing. That's
Casey Williams down too, the tight end. So in one play, the Nittany Lions have 2 starters slow to get up and limping on the sideline. And one has yet to even limp off. Finally will now. And this is where Joe would love to have another premier tailback type person. But I think they're going to go with what I said, and that's Sean McHugh, the big fullback, as a single setback probably. We'll see when they break the huddle. There he is. And there he will stay behind Zach Mills.
3 wide receivers, 1 back.
2nd down, 15. Mills, 3-step drop, fires one, completes it inside the 15. Bryant Johnson again. In front of Pat Ricketts, the cornerback. Aaron Turpinning, the safety, was trying to help him out, but this combination has been brilliant tonight. 8 catches, 147 yards.
Just single coverage on the outside, top of the screen. That's Bryant Johnson, 24. He just has position on Ricketts. Ricketts is only 5'11", Johnson 6'2" and 220, so he just had inside position.
McHugh, the fullback, straight up the middle, and he's got a first down at about the 10-yard line. And now the crowd comes to life. This has been a Penn State quarter for almost 6 minutes, and they're loving what they're seeing. Their team leads by 6.
This has been an outstanding drive, the beginning of the second half, going out and setting the tempo, taking the game back away from Nebraska if they thought that coming out they were going to grab it. The offensive line, you can't say enough about an offensive line when you move the ball right down the field, run and pass.
It is 1st and goal, and they'll have to earn it all because the ball is right on the 10-yard line.
14th play of the drive.
Mills rolls, lofts to the end zone, and threw it out of bounds. Complete. Tony Johnson actually had curled inside, and Zach said, it's not there, he's double covered, I'm getting rid of this thing.
Smart thing to do. I mean, you got first down, no mistakes.
Zach has not made a mistake tonight as a runner or as a passer.
This is the 15th play of the drive, and both quarterbacks are in again.
Michael Robinson, number 12, and Zach Mills, number 7. They're in there with Mike Gasparotto, the backup tailback, in the shotgun on 2nd and goal. Low snap, fake the handoff to Robinson. Mills trying to take off, but Nebraska's seen that one too many times. And LeKevin Smith, the redshirt freshman out of Macon, Georgia, 300-pounders draped all over him. So now it's going to be 3rd down and goal, and this is a huge play coming up for the Nebraska defense, Bob.
It is. You know, Nebraska talking all half. They wanted to shut them down, get the ball back, and then go down and score ourselves, and that's what Craig Bohl was telling him at halftime. Big defensive stop right here if they can get it.
This drive has gone 15 plays and 72 yards in almost 7 minutes. And now it's 3rd down and goal. Mills, the end around to Robinson. Heading for the corner. Robinson, touchdown! To you, Mr. Robinson. He's been in there a lot. 2nd time he's touched it. Touchdown, Penn State.
I think they ought to shake that number off of him and give him a 30 or a 40 number, and not listing behind the quarterbacks, but listing behind the halfbacks.
Well, Bob, he's just preparing for a role at quarterback. You know, we need more running quarterbacks.
There you go.
You know, the Michael Vicks of the world.
2-point conversion.
A go for 2. Accused a single setback with 3 wideouts. Mills to the end zone, just over the outstretched arms of Gerald Smith. The diving attempt, they didn't get it. And so the score will remain as it is. But as it is, the record crowd at Beaver Stadium couldn't be happier. Michael Robinson on the end around. Touchdown, Penn State. They lead by 12.
A shift can change a person, a life, the world, or it can simply change the way you move through it.
Great. Credit card bill.
Look at these fees.
Honey?
One rate for purchases, higher rate for cash advances, and those telemarketers.
Relax. We switched to Capital One's no hassle card.
Get a Capital One no-hassle card. It's got the nation's lowest long-term fixed rates, no balance transfer fees, and no telemarketing.
Honey?
What's in your wallet?
Howie, have a seat. Listen.
It's just like a movie theater.
Come to Radio Shack now during the Hollywood in Your Home sale and get an RCA home theater in a box with DVD player for just $299.99. And a 2-room RCA DirecTV system is just $29.99 after a $70 Radio Shack mail-in rebate.
There's just one thing that's missing. A cup holder.
Radio Shack. You've got questions, we've got answers.
I don't own warehouses anymore. I've got Brown. With Brown managing my supply chain, my goods get from the dock to my customers in no time.
Brown helps me build a leaner, faster supply chain machine.
Then tosses me the keys and says, drive. I like to drive.
Inventory and transportation management. One company. UPS. What can Brown do for you?
Disarming Iraq. Will the world support the U.S.? Is the clock ticking towards war? Condoleezza Rice talks with George Stephanopoulos. Sunday on the new This Week.
The largest crowd in Penn State history. 110,753 watching what looks like the makings of an upset. They celebrated throughout that timeout. Their team is up by 12. Their kicker knocks it out of the back of the end zone. It's 19-7. Number 25 Penn State leading number 7 Nebraska. ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by Nissan and your Nissan dealer. Pacific Life, annuities, insurance, and investments rely on the strength of Pacific Life. Gatorade Thirst Quencher. Gatorade, is it in you? And the delicious plain broiled Whopper from Burger King. At BK, you got it. The Nittany Lion in the valley of Mount Nittany, and their fans, almost 111,000, seeing their team in front. Nebraska from the 20. Josh Davis on the end around. And Davis goes out for about 8. And it's Jimmy Kennedy who got over there to run him down. That shows you what the big grizzly bear, how light he is on his feet.
Well, since he weighed 400 pounds in high school, he's lost a few pounds. He is one of the top defensive tackles in all of college football right there.
Projected to be a very high draft choice in the NFL. Some people thought he'd go this past year to the NFL. He came back. I said he had a lot of respect for Joe Paterno and what Penn State tradition means, and I want to turn this thing around.
And he is doing it.
Yes, he is. Second down and a couple. Darren Diedrich back in there at the I-back, and Darren's got the first down. And he goes out to the 35-yard line. By the way, the previous largest crowd was against Miami in that opener last year, also under the lights, 109,313. All I can say is we really know how to draw our friends, don't we, at this thing?
Watch Cody here. He's going to come in the shoulder to shoulder with the fullback, going right up in the hole. Look at that protection right there.
What a block on Capone by Davies, the fullback. And now on a little play action cross buck, it's Lord rolling, Haynes chasing him down. Loose ball. Michael Haynes. Nope, they're going to wave it dead.
Said it was a pass.
Michael Haynes is heading to the end zone, but this one's been blown dead at the spot that he tracked down Jamal Lord.
It looked to me like it was a pass. His arm was coming forward. I think he got it hit out of his hand when he was throwing it.
Again, remember, this is the first time Lord's been on the road as a starter. Here comes Haynes in pursuit. Oh boy.
No.
That's one of those slip off the bats.
I take that back. The ball slips out of his hand. Yeah, that ball slips out of his hand. Yeah. There's a lot of sweat down there. He's sweating, and that ball just slipped out of his hands from it. Just got wet.
Nebraska got a break there. Lord's missed his last 3 passes. On the option, the pitch. Darren Diedrich. And he got out near the 39. Got plastered right there by Levon Chisley, one of the backup defensive linemen, along with Sean Mayer from his safety spot. Nebraska's had to earn everything. All of their 7 drives have started at or inside their 20-yard line. And when they came into this game, field position-wise in the first 3 games, they were averaging their starting field position at their own 42.
Yeah, and a lot of that has to do with their special teams.
Right.
Blocking kicks, running kickoffs back. Joe knows he lost one there. But those things come and go in the course of a game.
Third down at 6. Stadium starting to rumble. Lord from the gun throws. It's intercepted. Picked off by Richard Gardner down the sideline. Touchdown. Richard Gardner for the score.
Well, Jamal Lord is starting to get shook a little bit. He's trying to hit the receiver out here, but the man that's going to intercept it is right here. Gardner sits on the outside. He sees it coming the whole way. See him? He sees the ball coming. He's going to pick it off and go the other way.
Cornelson never got a hand on it. Gardner's the only one that touched it, and nobody touched him.
Poor throw. The ball was behind the receiver.
One player from each team has been ejected.
Well, unsportsmanlike conduct both ways, and each team has lost a player. There's Gardner, the man of the hour. First turnover by either team, and it's a huge, huge turnover for Nebraska.
When you take a quarterback out of his comfort zone, whether it's on the road in front of over 100,000 people, he started his first 3 games at home.
Right.
Very comfortable. Ran the ball very well. Didn't have to throw much. When you get behind on the road and you got to throw, and that's not your strength, bad things are going to happen.
A Penn State extra point is upcoming. Gardner, a guy that took over the spot of Bruce Branch, who was a starter there last year, has his first big interception as a Nittany Lion. It's good for a touchdown. And now it's Robbie Gould for the point after. The eyes tell it all of the Nebraska quarterback. Trying to tack on point number 26, and it is good. 5 minutes, 51 seconds remaining, third quarter. Still a lot of football left, but Penn State comes out in the third quarter. Their defense puts up 7. They lead 26-7. Nebraska's offense now finds itself in a serious come-from-behind mode as Gardner, number 25, still smiling on the sideline. 42-yard touchdown. Now the interception, and the kick again is out of the back of the end zone by David Kimball. He's been a nice weapon as the kickoff man for Penn State tonight. Our Nissan drive summary. Last 7 possessions for Nebraska. A lot of punts and an interception.
They haven't had very good field position. They've had 4 punts, and the last big interception was returned for a touchdown, and that cost.
As you saw there, 20 or inside the 20 on every possession they started. Nick Pavendo has come in at left tackle. One of the guys kicked out of the game was Richie Incognito, the starting left tackle for Nebraska. And they go up the middle on the ground, and they get out to about the 24-yard line as we go out to Times Square Stadium. John Saunders. John? Ooh, Bradley Van Pelt wishes he could get that one back. Second down and 6 here. Lord, counter, Diedrich, and Haynes drags him down. Michael Haynes. They thought his performance last year tailed off, but the first 2 games this season, he's been the guy they expected he would be.
Number 81 right in front of us. He beats the block of the back. That's asking a lot for a back to try and hook that defensive end.
And there's the Penn State player that was kicked out. That's Jeremiah Davis, starting defensive end. There's Richie Incognito, and Richie isn't incognito now because he's on the sideline.
Offensive tackle, defensive end.
So they each lost a starter. Trying to flip it out and get something going with the air game, and Wilson Thomas is dropped in his tracks at the 20.
3 and out. And
not what Nebraska wanted.
Yeah. And these Nittany Lion fans cannot remember the last 2 seasons when they had losing seasons here at Penn State.
Well, I don't think our parents even remember. That was 31 and 32.
Yeah. Except for 01 and 00.
That's right. The last 2.
Yeah,
but before that, you got to go back to the early 30s.
Exactly. 70 years.
That was a depression of sorts for Penn State. The last 2 years have been too, but they're on the verge maybe of turning that around in a hurry to start the 02 season. And the punt's down. Great field position for Penn State's offense. Timeout with 3:39 remaining third quarter. Nittany Lions leading number 7 Nebraska. .339 remaining third quarter. Penn State's got it back. Good field position. Their own 45-yard line. Nebraska was 3 and out on its last possession. Penn State hasn't faced that all night long. Tony Johnson in motion. Draw play, Larry Johnson back in there. Larry Johnson busted up the middle. Johnson all the way to the 20. He had the longest run of the season last year of only 31 yards. He just ripped off one for 35.
Right up the middle. Take a look. Look at this hole. Look at this. Great blocking up front. Johnson gets through and then makes a couple guys miss. A good back always makes one miss. He made 3 miss in the hole.
All the way to the 20-yard line for Larry Johnson. Now you have the possibility of a couple guys having over 100 named Johnson. We already have a receiver way over that. Michael Robinson's back in there again, the backup quarterback. Give it to him on a draw play. And Robinson bangs his way down to the 10-yard line.
Okay, that's it. That's it. No more quarterback. This kid is 6'3" and 230.
He's got your number on.
He's got my number on. But this kid is not playing quarterback.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. 6'3" and 230.
Well, Bob, if Penn State keeps running the option, he'd be ideal.
He's carried it 3 times for 45 yards and a touchdown. You got it right, Swanee.
2nd down and short. Robinson stays in there. He and Larry Johnson flank Zach Mills in the gun. Mills, same play. Michael Robinson, same result. Touchdown! Wow. Now they having fun in Beaver Stadium. Just like the team on the field is having fun. Everything's working. Not so happy on the other sideline. Extra point by Gould. Right down the middle. Penn State is playing near perfect football. It's been a while since they've said that around Happy Valley.
All right, take a look at this quarterback here. I mean, he is really outstanding talent. He's going to take a draw and just come over here. Robinson, 6'3" and 230. Linda's going to come around. Gets the block right there, and he just... Now, that, you know, quarterbacks are really talented. I mean, guys can do that. They're versatile. My man.
I wonder if Swanee could see that block that Bryant Johnson, the wide receiver, threw at the very end. That one didn't hurt either.
I did, Brad, and I thought Bryant Johnson is demonstrating a lot of remarkable savvy and talent as a wide receiver. That block he threw was ideal, not because he got the block, but the timing of the block. You can't, as a receiver, go downfield, hit that guy, because the defensive back could pop back up, then make the tackle. He waited, he timed it, he threw the block that got his quarterback or his running back or the slash back, whatever you want to call him, Bob, into the end zone.
He's a slash. You got to call him slash.
Here's a kick. They haven't been able to return them all night. They won't return this one either. Again out of the back of the end zone. Penn State has scored on 5 straight drives, and they are going crazy in this stadium. Next Saturday, join ABC Sports for another great day of college football. Notre Dame is unbeaten after their win today. They'll move that number 21 ranking up. You can bet Michigan State beaten today. They'll be a little bit on the sour side. The other regional action you see is next Saturday, 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific. ABC Sports, the class of college football. We'll see Virginia Tech and Texas A&M down in College Station, and that should be a good one.
That'll be a good one.
Again, Nebraska starts at its own 20. We've said it every time tonight. At the 20 or worse. Lord, late pitch. Wow, what a hit, but a nice bounce off by Pilkington. And it was Gardner, the corner, who just scored the touchdown moments ago, that came up and made the stick.
Bob and Brad, I just want to throw in a bit of information. Penn State on the sideline, they do not give out medical information. So when Larry Johnson went out of the ball game, I can't tell you what his injury was. At the same time, I can't tell you why Brian Scott, number 32, is not back and has not been back in the second half as a starting corner. He is standing on the sideline with a big wrap around his left or on his right thigh.
Well, one thing we know is Larry Johnson wasn't hurt bad enough to not get a big play the last time he touched it. Now Lord trying to scramble out of trouble, and he's tracked down from behind. Eric Wake is there. Number 94. And Jamal Lord now feeling the heat of being the Nebraska quarterback.
Well, and Nebraska offensively depends so much on the quarterback position. For the option, for the run game, for the pass game. especially Nebraska, though, because of the option. They're so heavy on the option, making the right decision, making good choices.
Now 3rd down and 9. Out of the shotgun, 4 wide receivers. Lord wants to throw back, and there's nobody home. Now he takes off with it. And a nice cutback run across the 30. Jamal Lord after the 41-yard line. 1st down, Nebraska. As he gets 20 yards. All right, John, here it's 33-7. Penn State shocking Nebraska. Lord pitch to Diedrich. Aaron Diedrich tracked down by Sean Mayer from the secondary. And you can see why Mayer was the leading tackler. He is an active safety.
He is the 2nd leading tackler in the Big Ten so far this season. He's averaging 10 tackles per game.
You know Penn State's going to hold up 4 fingers. I don't know if they knew through 3 it'd be looking this good. They have shocked Nebraska for the first 3 quarters. Penn State 33, Nebraska 7. It's going to take a miracle comeback. ABC Sports presentation of college football will return after this message and a word from our ABC station.